My fiancé posted, making him take a polygraph test before the wedding. If he loves me, he has nothing to hide. I commented, great idea, you first. Then I actually scheduled 2 tests and sent her the appointment. When the examiner asked her the questions I'd submitted about her fidelity, I, 33 male, was scrolling through Instagram last Tuesday when my fiancée Bethany's 29 post showed up on my feed. Big bold text over a photo of us from last month, making my man take a polygraph test before our wedding. If he really loves me and has nothing to hide, he should have no problem proving it. Trust but verify, ladies. Smart bride, no secrets, pre-wedding test. I stared at my phone for a solid minute. We'd been engaged for 8 months, together for 3 years total. Wedding was in 4 months. Deposits paid, venue booked, invitations ordered, and she's posting this? She was at her friend Krista's apartment for their weekly wine night. I screenshot the post and texted her. We need to talk about this when you get home. She replied immediately. About what? The test? Babe, it's just smart. My cousin did it with her husband, and it gave them peace of mind. You didn't ask me. You just announced it publicly. Because I knew you'd overthink it. If you have nothing to hide, what's the problem? I put my phone down. Thought about it. She wanted a polygraph test? Fine. Great idea, I typed back. You first. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then, what? If we're doing this, we both take 1. You want transparency? Let's be transparent. That's ridiculous. I'm not the one who needs to prove anything. Why not? If you have nothing to hide, what's the problem? No response for 20 minutes. Then, we'll talk when I get home. She came home around 11 p.m., already defensive. I can't believe you're making this about me. You made it public without asking me, I said calmly. If we're doing polygraph tests, we're both doing them. Equal transparency. That's not fair. I'm the one who suggested it. And I'm agreeing, with the condition that you go first, prove you have nothing to hide. Her face went red. This is typical controlling behavior, Travis. I'm trying to protect our marriage, and you're turning it into some power play. I'm not controlling anything. I'm matching your energy. You want tests? We'll both take them. I don't need to take one. Why not? Because I'm not the one with trust issues. I don't have trust issues. You apparently do, since you want me to take a polygraph. So let's both take them and clear the air completely. She sputtered for a minute, then grabbed her purse. I'm staying at Krista's tonight. Maybe you'll be more reasonable in the morning. After she left, I did something petty. I commented on her public post. Great idea, babe. Just scheduled appointments for both of us. You're going first, though. Lead by example. Then I actually did it. Found a licensed polygraph examiner. Booked 2 appointments 3 days apart. Cost me $800 for both tests. Sent Bethany the confirmation email with her appointment details. Her test was scheduled for Saturday at 2 p.m. Mine for Tuesday at 2 p.m. Update 1. Bethany lost her mind when she got the confirmation email. Called me at work Thursday morning, absolutely screaming. You can't just schedule something like this without asking me. You literally announced you were making me take one without asking me. I'm just following through on your idea. This is insane. I'm not taking a polygraph test. Why not? You have nothing to hide, right? That's not the point. That's exactly the point. You wanted to test my honesty. Let's test yours too. I'm canceling it. Can't. Non-refundable deposit. Plus, if you cancel, I'm canceling mine. And then I'm commenting on your very public post explaining that you refused to take the same test you demanded I take. Silence. Then, you're being a jerk. I'm being fair. Saturday at 2 p.m. The examiner's office is downtown. I'll drive us. She hung up on me. That evening, her mom called. Diane. This woman already didn't like me much, thought I wasn't ambitious enough for her daughter. Travis, Bethany is very upset. I know. She doesn't want to take the polygraph test she publicly demanded we do. Well, she didn't mean she had to take one. She was talking about you. Right, but if we're testing for honesty and fidelity, seems like we should both do it, for the marriage. That's ridiculous. She's been nothing but faithful to you. You on the other hand. Me on the other hand, what? Pause. Well, I don't know what you've been up to. Exactly. You don't know, so let's test both of us and remove all doubt. She huffed and hung up. Saturday came. Bethany barely spoke to me all morning, tried to claim she was sick. I told her we could reschedule, but I'd still cancel mine and post the reason publicly. We drove to the examiner's office in silence. The examiner, a guy named Paul, was probably in his 50s. Retired law enforcement, did corporate and private polygraphs. Very professional. He explained the process, the questions, how it worked. I'd submitted questions in advance. Standard stuff for relationships. Have you been sexually intimate with anyone else during our relationship? Have you had romantic feelings for someone else during our relationship? Have you lied to me about where you were or who you were with? Have you hidden any major financial debts or secrets from me? Is there anything you're currently hiding that could affect our marriage? Bethany went into the testing room. I waited outside. The test took about 2 hours with all the setup and questions. When they finished, Paul called me into his office. Bethany was in the waiting room, looking pale. Mr. Travis, I need to be direct with you. Your fiancé showed significant deceptive responses to multiple questions. My stomach dropped. Which ones? He showed me the printouts. The first question, about sexual intimacy with others, clear deception indicators. The question about lying about whereabouts, deception. The one about hiding things, major deception. What does this mean? It means she wasn't truthful in her responses to those questions. Now, polygraphs aren't 100% accurate, but these are pretty clear patterns. I'd recommend you have a serious conversation with her. I paid the balance. Walked out to the waiting room. Bethany was crying. Let's go home, I said quietly. In the car, she started before I could. The test is wrong. Those things aren't reliable. I told the truth, and it still said I was lying. Bethany, what? Just tell me, please. She was quiet for a long time. Then it was just twice, and it was before we got engaged. Everything went cold. What was twice? There's this guy at my office, Cole. There were 2 times, but it was before you proposed. It doesn't count. When before I proposed? Like a month before. I'd proposed 3 years and 1 month ago. A month before that, we'd been talking about moving in together, planning our future, and you've been working with him this whole time. It didn't mean anything. It was just physical. I chose you, Travis. I said yes to you. After sleeping with him. It was a mistake. Twice. I'm sorry, but you can't be mad. You made me take that stupid test. This is your fault for pushing it. I almost laughed. Almost. You demanded I take a polygraph test to prove I was faithful, and you've been hiding that you cheated on me. It was 3 years ago. You lied about where you were, multiple times apparently, since the test caught that too. What else did you lie about? She wiped her eyes. Nothing. The test says otherwise. We got home. I went straight to my computer and started looking up wedding cancellation policies. She followed me into the office. What are you doing? Seeing what we lose if we cancel the wedding. You're not seriously breaking up with me over something that happened 3 years ago that I didn't even have to tell you about. You had to tell me because you failed a polygraph test that you demanded. I demanded you take one. Because you were projecting. You cheated, so you assumed I did too. I just wanted to be sure. Sure that I was as dishonest as you? Well, good news. I'm not, which we'll never know for certain because I'm canceling my test. You have to take it now. Why? You failed yours. The wedding's off. There's no point. She started hyperventilating. You can't do this. Everything's planned. People are coming from out of town, the venue, the dress, You should have thought about that before you cheated on me and lied about it for 3 years. I'm calling my mother. Go ahead. Update 2. Diane showed up within the hour. Tula brought Bethany's sister, Michelle, for backup. The 3 of them staged an intervention in my own living room. Travis, you're being unreasonable, Diane started. How am I being unreasonable? Bethany made one mistake years ago. You're gonna throw away your entire relationship over that? She cheated on me twice with a coworker, then lied about it for 3 years, then demanded I prove my faithfulness. Yeah, I'm throwing it away. Michelle jumped in. Men cheat all the time and women forgive them. You can't even forgive one mistake? 2 mistakes. 2 different times she chose to sleep with someone else, and I'm not obligated to forgive anything. She chose you, Diane said. She said yes to your proposal. That means something. It means she settled, or Cole wasn't interested in anything serious. Bethany burst into fresh tears. That's not true. I love you. I want to marry you. You loved me 3 years ago too. Didn't stop you then. We weren't engaged then. So marriage is the only thing that would have stopped you? That's not reassuring, Bethany. Diane stood up. Fine. You want to be stubborn? Cancel the wedding, but you're paying for half the losses. She didn't do anything to deserve being financially punished. Actually, check the contracts. My name is on the venue, the catering, the photographer. I booked them. I put down the deposits from my accounts. Her face went red. You can't be serious. Deadly. I'm canceling everything tomorrow. You'll get whatever refunds are available, but most of those deposits are non-refundable at this point. That's thousands of dollars. Should have thought of that before demanding a polygraph test that exposed your own cheating. Michelle got in my face. You're a petty, cruel man. My sister deserves better. Then she can go find him. Maybe Cole's available. Bethany screamed at that and threw a decorative candle at me. Missed. It shattered against the wall. All of you need to leave, I said calmly. Now. This is her home too. No, it's not. Lisa's in my name. She moved in with me. Bethany, you have until next weekend to get your stuff out. You can't kick me out. I can, and I am. Be out by next Sunday or your stuff goes to storage and you can pay the fees. They left, but not before Diane told me I'd regret this decision for the rest of my life. Monday morning I started making calls. The venue was the biggest loss, $8,500 non-refundable. Caterer was $3,200 gone. Photographer gave me back half, $1,100. The DJ refunded everything except $200. Total loss about $13,000. Bethany's dress had been $2,800. That was on her credit card, her problem. The bridesmaid dresses were already paid for by her bridesmaids. My tux rental was $150. No loss there since I just canceled. All told, I was out $13,000. Hurt, but better than a divorce later. But then things got messy. Bethany's Instagram post from the beginning, she updated it. Update. Turns out my ex-fiancé couldn't handle being held accountable. Canceled our wedding because I asked him to be honest. Bullet dodged. No mention of her test. No mention of why things really ended. Her comments section filled up with support. You're better off. Men are trash. He wasn't worthy of you. One of my cousins saw it and called me. Dude, what happened? I told her the truth. She asked if she could share it. I said yes, but to be tactful. Within a day, the real story was circulating. My cousin didn't name names, just said guy's fiancé demanded he take a polygraph test, insisted she take one first. She failed, admitted to cheating. Now she's playing victim online. The story got back to Bethany. She called me, furious. You told people I cheated? You're playing victim online. I'm just correcting the record. That's private. Your post wasn't private. You made this public when you posted about the tests in the first place. Take it down. Can't take down what other people are saying. Maybe update your post with the full truth. She hung up on me. 2 days later, I got a call from Cole, the coworker. Travis? Hey man, this is Cole. I work with Bethany. I know who you are. Right. Listen, I heard about what happened. The wedding and stuff. I just wanted to say, I didn't know you guys were that serious when it happened. She told me you were casual. We'd been together 2 years when you slept with her. Yeah, I know that now. She lied to me too, man. Told me you guys were on a break or something. I wouldn't have, I'm not that guy. You slept with her twice. The second time she said you guys broke up. Look, I just wanted to apologize. I feel like crap about it. Does your girlfriend know? I'd seen his Instagram. He'd been with someone for 2 years now. Long pause. No. Might want to get ahead of that. Bethany's not exactly keeping quiet about anything. He hung up shortly after. I felt a little bad about that comment. But only a little. Final update. It's been 6 weeks since I canceled the wedding. Here's how everything shook out. The first week, Bethany moved out. Her dad came with a truck, and her brother. They didn't speak to me. Just loaded up her stuff and left. She tried to take the coffee table I'd bought before we met. I stopped that. She cried about it. Didn't care. Found out later she'd moved back in with her parents. Diane's apparently making her life miserable, asking why she couldn't just keep her mouth shut about the whole thing. The second week, some of Bethany's friends started reaching out to me. Not to yell, to apologize. Turned out Bethany had been telling them for months that I was probably cheating and acting suspicious. She'd been building a narrative to justify the polygraph test demand. One friend, Ashley, told me Bethany had been weird about Cole for years. She'd mention him constantly. We thought it was just because they worked together, but now it makes sense. Asked Ashley if she thought it was really only twice. She went quiet. I don't know, but Bethany went on a lot of work happy hours over the years. That messed with me for a few days, wondering how much more there was that the polygraph didn't catch. But then I realized, doesn't matter. Whatever the truth was, she'd lied about enough. Third week, I got a message from Cole's girlfriend. Apparently Bethany had reached out to her to clear her conscience about sleeping with Cole years ago, but in doing so, she'd mentioned Cole had been texting her recently to check in. Cole's girlfriend dumped him. Then she thanked me for the warning I'd given him because it made her press him about his history with Bethany, which led to finding recent texts. So Cole lost his relationship too. Can't say I felt bad about it. Week 4, I got a lawyer's letter. Bethany was threatening to sue me for emotional distress and damage to her reputation. Wanted $25,000. My lawyer sent back a beautiful response. Basically, your client demanded a polygraph test, failed it, admitted to infidelity, and has since posted misleading information online. Countersuit for defamation being prepared if this proceeds. Never heard back about the lawsuit. Bethany's Instagram went private after that. Heard through mutual friends she deleted the original polygraph post and most references to me. Too little, too late. Week 5, my brother's wife mentioned running into Bethany at Target. Bethany apparently tried to play victim. Travis broke my heart over nothing, until my sister-in-law just said, he dodged a bullet. You cheated on him. Bethany left her cart and walked out of the store. The invitations to our wedding had already gone out. I sent a mass text to everyone. Wedding canceled. Relationship ended. No gifts necessary. No explanation needed. Sorry for any travel plans already made. Got a lot of supportive responses. A few people asked what happened. I kept it vague. We discovered we weren't compatible after all. Most people heard the real story anyway. Small networks talk. Now 6 weeks out, I'm doing okay. Not great. The betrayal still stings. The lying stings worse. The projection, demanding I prove something she was guilty of, that stings most of all. But I'm glad I called her bluff, glad I insisted she take the test first, because if she'd never posted that Instagram nonsense, I might have married her without ever knowing. The $13,000 loss hurts, but it's cheaper than a divorce, and way cheaper than a lifetime with someone who lies that easily. Bethany's apparently seeing a therapist now. Good for her. Hope she figures out whatever made her think that Instagram stunt was a good idea. As for me, taking a long break from relationships. Maybe forever, who knows? Trust isn't coming easy these days. But at least I'm not planning a wedding to someone who'd cheat on me and then demand I prove I hadn't cheated on her. The irony still makes me laugh sometimes, in a bitter, this is my life now kind of way. Someone asked if I regret pushing for her to take the test first. Absolutely not. Best $400 I ever spent. Saved me from years of wondering, of half-truths, of finding out 5 years and 2 kids in that my wife had been lying since before we got engaged. The polygraph test was her idea. I just made sure it actually served its purpose, revealing the truth. She wanted transparency. She got it, just not the way she expected. My fiancé said, I'm uninviting your sister from our wedding. She's too opinionated. I replied, your wedding, your rules. Then I uninvited myself too, took back the ring, and went on a cruise with my sister instead. Her frantic messages started when the venue, original post I, 35 male, proposed to Madison, 32 last year after 3 years together. Everything seemed perfect until wedding planning turned her into someone I didn't recognize. Or maybe it just revealed who she always was. My sister Haley, 38, is my only family. Parents died in a car accident when I was 22. Haley basically raised me through my 20s, helped me finish college, was there through everything. She's direct, honest, sometimes blunt, but always has my back. Madison never loved that about her. The wedding was set for next month. Madison's family was handling most of the planning since they insisted on this massive 250-person event. I was paying for about 60% of it though, roughly $45 of my savings. The venue alone was $15, already paid in full. Last Tuesday, Madison sat me down with her wedding coordinator face on. Madison, we need to talk about Haley. What about her? Madison, she's been really difficult during planning. Always has opinions about everything. She's offered like 3 suggestions total about the flowers, the music, and whether we really need gold-plated chargers. Exactly. It's not her wedding. And at the rehearsal dinner planning, she actually questioned why we need a 7-course meal. Because we don't, it's $200 per person for 80 people. That's not the point, Derek. She makes me uncomfortable. She judges everything. That look she gives me. What look? Like I'm not good enough for you, like she's waiting for me to mess up. I sat there processing this. Haley had mentioned privately that Madison seemed to be going overboard, but she'd been nothing but supportive to Madison's face. Madison, I've made a decision. She's uninvited from the wedding. I actually laughed. Thought it was a weird joke. That's funny. I'm serious. My wedding, my choice. She can watch the live stream. Madison, she's my only family. She's supposed to walk me down the aisle since my parents can't. Madison, your cousin Brad can do it. I've met Brad twice in my life. This is about our future, Derek. I need you to support me. She makes me anxious on what should be the happiest day of my life. I stared at this woman I thought I knew, really looked at her. You know what? You're absolutely right. Brightening up. Really? Thank you, baby. I knew you'd understand. Your wedding, your rules. Our wedding, silly. No, apparently it's yours. And since it's your wedding, you don't need me there either. Her face went through about 6 expressions in 3 seconds. What are you talking about? Standing up. I'm uninviting myself from your wedding. Derek, don't be dramatic. Me, I'm not. You want a wedding without my family? Have at it. I walked to our bedroom, opened the safe, and pulled out the ring box with the receipt. Following me. What are you doing? Me taking back my grandmother's ring. Your wedding, your ring to provide. You're being ridiculous. It's just one person. The one person who's been my rock since I was 22. The one person who helped me become someone worth marrying. But sure, just one person. Fine, she can come. God, I didn't know you'd throw a tantrum. Nope, too late. You showed me who you are. Someone who'd isolate me from my family because they ask reasonable questions about spending. Packed a bag while she alternated between yelling and crying. Her mom called within an hour. Then her dad. Then her sister. My phone blew up. Went straight to Haley's place. She opened the door, took one look at my face and bag, and just hugged me. Haley, want to tell me what happened? Told her everything. That woman. I knew something was off when she insisted on a chocolate fountain that costs $2,500. I need a vacation. Funny you mention that. Remember that cruise I booked for next month? My friend just canceled. Want to be my plus one? The cruise was the same week as the wedding. Perfect. Update 1. 3 days later, Madison's entitlement escalated fast. First came the reasonable texts. Can we please talk like adults? You're overreacting. Don't throw away 3 years over one disagreement. Then the manipulation. I can't sleep. You've ruined everything. How could you do this to me? Then the threats. If you don't come back, I'm keeping the deposits. I'll sue you for emotional distress. You'll regret this. I only responded once. Per our discussion, it's your wedding. Handle it however you want. But here's where it gets good. Madison's dad, Richard, called me Thursday morning. Richard, son, what's this about you abandoning my daughter? And I didn't abandon anyone. She uninvited my only family from the wedding. I uninvited myself. That's absurd. You don't cancel a wedding over one guest. I agree. That's why I couldn't believe Madison would uninvite my sister over her asking if we really needed chocolate swans. Chocolate swans. The $3,000 chocolate sculpture she ordered last week. Didn't she tell you? Silence. How much have you paid for this wedding, Derek? About $45 so far. 45. She told us you were contributing a little. Me, I have receipts if you need them. That won't be. Madison said the wedding was mostly paid for by us. You paid for her dress and the flowers, about $8 total. I have all the contracts and payment confirmations. Long silence. I need to call you back. Next call came from Madison, screaming. Apparently Richard was being unreasonable and taking your side and ruining her special day. You turned my father against me. I told him the truth. Nothing more. We had an arrangement. You pay for the wedding, they don't need to know. What arrangement? When did I agree to secretly fund your dream wedding while you lied to your parents? It was implied. You make more money. And you make financial decisions unilaterally, like uninviting family members from events they're paying for. Fine. The wedding is off, but I'm keeping all the deposits since you ruined everything. The contracts are in my name, the venue, catering, photographer, all in my name because I paid. That's financial abuse. It's called protecting my assets, something Haley suggested actually. Smart woman, my sister. She hung up, got an email from her that night. A formal demand for $75,000 for wedding-related emotional distress and lost deposits. Yeah, she wanted me to pay her for the privilege of being dumped. Forwarded it to my lawyer buddy. He laughed for 5 straight minutes. Update 2, 1 week later. The entitlement went nuclear. Madison changed the narrative on social media. According to her posts, I was a narcissistic abuser who isolated her from her support system and controlled her with money. She claimed I canceled the wedding because she stood up to my toxic sister's bullying. The comments were split. Her friends rallied around her. Mutual friends who knew Haley were confused. Then Madison made a critical error. She posted, "After everything I sacrificed for him, Derek refuses to even cover the deposits for the wedding he insisted on." Haley commented, "The wedding with the $3,000 chocolate sculpture? The one where you uninvited his only family? That wedding?" Madison deleted it, but screenshots were already circulating. Her mom, Patricia, called next. "Patricia, Derek, we need to discuss the financial situation." "There's nothing to discuss." "Madison says you're refusing to pay the vendors." "I'm canceling the contracts that are in my name. She's welcome to rebook them herself. But the deposits are being returned to me minus cancellation fees. Most vendors have been understanding given the circumstances." Understanding? I explained the bride uninvited my only family and I'm no longer getting married. Several offered partial refunds out of sympathy. That's private family business. So was the $45 I spent apparently. Then came the twist. Madison showed up at my office Thursday. Security called up and I reluctantly agreed to meet her in the lobby. She looked rough, hair unwashed, no makeup, yoga pants. The Madison I knew would never leave the house like this. Madison, "Derek, please, I'm sorry about Haley. She can come. She can be in the wedding party." "There is no wedding." "Don't say that. We can fix this." "You told your parents I was financially abusing you." "I was hurt. I didn't mean it." "You demanded $75,000 for emotional distress." "I was angry." "Please, the venue won't refund without your signature. It's $15,000. "I know. I already got the refund, minus the $2,000 cancellation fee." Her face went pale. You got the money?" "Yesterday, the venue was very understanding when I explained the situation." "Madison, but that was our money." No, it was my money that I was going to spend on our wedding. No wedding, my money." She actually stomped her foot like a toddler. "You can't do this. I already told everyone. The invitations went out." "Then untell them. Your wedding, your problem." Security started approaching. Madison grabbed my arm. "I'll sue you. Breach of promise. You proposed. And you accepted. Then you uninvited my family. Contract void due to your breach of the implied covenant of good faith." My lawyer buddy prepped me for that line. Her face was priceless. "Madison, I hate you." "Okay." Security escorted her out. She screamed the whole way about true love and second chances. Update 3. 2 weeks later. The extinction burst, yes, I learned the term, was spectacular. Madison tried everything. 1. Sent her brother Trent to talk sense into me. Trent basically threatened to kick my ass if I didn't man up. I recorded the whole thing and sent it to my lawyer. Trent backpedaled real quick when he got a cease and desist letter. 2. Created fake Instagram accounts to message me about karma and how I'd die alone. Haley responded to each one with vacation cruise brochures and "looks fun, we'll think of you." 3. Tried to get me fired by calling my company claiming I was emotionally unstable. and threatening self-harm. HR did a welfare check, found me planning cruise excursions with Haley during lunch, and flagged Madison's number as harassment. 4. The masterpiece. She white-dressed showed up at my apartment at 2 a.m. Sunday, drunk with her friend Ashley. Rang the doorbell non-stop. Building security camera caught everything. Madison slurring, "Derek, open up, we need closure." Ashley, "This is so romantic, like a movie." "I'm taking him back. He needs forgiveness. You're so generous." Cops arrived. Madison tried to claim she lived there. Cops asked for ID. Address didn't match. She then claimed we were basically married, so it was her home too. Cops were not impressed. Got a call at 3 a.m. from the station. Did I want to press charges for harassment? "Has she learned her lesson?" I asked. "She's demanding we arrest you for theft of wedding deposits," the officer said, sounding tired. "Then no, she hasn't. Yes, I'd like to press charges." Madison spent the night in holding. Richard bailed her out Monday morning and called me immediately. "Richard, was that necessary? Was showing up drunk at 2 a.m. necessary?" "She's heartbroken. She's harassing me. This is the 4th incident in 2 weeks. 4th? Sent him the cease and desist letter his son got, the HR complaint, and the Instagram harassment screenshots. Jesus Christ. I had no idea. She needs help, Richard, professional help. I'm starting to see that. The money thing still bothers me." "Want to know what bothers me? She told me you were poor. That's why I needed to pay, that your business was failing." "What? I own 16 furniture stores." "I know that now. She said you were too proud to admit you couldn't afford the wedding." "That manipulative? I'm sorry, Derek. I really am." "Me too." The restraining order was approved Thursday. Madison is not allowed within 500 feet of me, my workplace, or my residence. Update 4. The cruise week, would-be wedding week. Haley and I left for the cruise 3 days before the would-be wedding date. Turned off my phone, left it in the cabin safe, and just breathed. The first 2 days were perfect. Sun, ocean, unlimited shrimp cocktail. Haley and I did dorky tourist things. Towel animals, formal night photos, trivia contests. She won a ship trophy for naming the most Hitchcock films. I killed it at pool volleyball. Day 3, Haley's phone exploded. She'd forgotten to turn off notifications. "Haley, you need to see this." Madison had gone ahead with the wedding. Yeah, you read that right. Without a groom, without a venue, without catering. She showed up at her parents' house in her wedding dress, claimed I was running late, and had a complete breakdown when guests started realizing there was no actual wedding. Her cousin live-streamed parts of it. Madison in her dress, insisting everyone wait for me. Patricia trying to explain to 150 confused guests. Richard on the phone with the venue confirming it was canceled weeks ago. Madison screaming that I stole her wedding. The moment she admitted she uninvited Haley and I left her. Her uncle saying, "So you're telling me Derek paid for everything and you uninvited his sister?" Madison throwing her bouquet at him. The live stream went semi-viral in our city. Someone added commentary like a sports broadcaster, and Madison steps up to the altar alone, bold strategy cotton, let's see if it pays off. The crowd is confused, looking around for the groom who's currently on a cruise ship. Oh, Uncle Robert with the truth bomb. Madison's defense crumbles. Haley and I watched it from the ship's bar. The bartender saw us laughing and asked what was funny. Haley showed him. He comped our drinks and said, "That man dodged a torpedo." But the best part? Madison's friend Ashley posted in the comments. For everyone asking, yes, she really thought he'd show up. She said he'd never miss it because he loved her too much. She made us all wait 2 hours. Someone replied, "Girl, he's literally on a boat." We know that now. The ship's internet was sketchy, but I managed to check my email once. 17 messages from Madison's family and friends. Didn't read them. Did see one from Richard though. "Derek, I'm appalled. She needs professional help. I've insisted on therapy or she's cut off financially. Your lawyer has my contact info for anything you need. Enjoy your vacation. You deserve it." Final update. 2 months later. Life's been quiet, peaceful, drama-free. Madison tried one more stunt about 3 weeks after the cruise. Claimed she was pregnant. Demanded I do the right thing. I immediately requested a paternity test through my lawyer. She backpedaled so fast she left skid marks, claiming she misunderstood the test results and it was a false positive. There was no test. She was never pregnant. Richard personally apologized again and mentioned Madison's now in intensive therapy. Apparently, the therapist's early assessment included terms like narcissistic tendencies and delusional entitlement. He's covering the therapy but cut off her access to money otherwise. She's living with them, working at one of his stores, and has to earn everything herself now. Plot twist. Brad, my cousin who Madison wanted to walk me down the aisle, he messaged me last week. Turns out Madison had been DMing him during our engagement, suggesting they should get to know each other better for family unity. He thought she was hitting on him and was too uncomfortable to say anything. Man, the bullets I dodged could fill a armory. The ring? Sold it. Grandma's ring went to Haley. Grandma would have wanted her to have it anyway since she actually knew her. Used the money from the contemporary setting to take a solo trip to Iceland. Saw the Northern Lights. Met a fellow tourist named Jerome who'd also just escaped a toxic relationship. We bonded over terrible ex stories and good whiskey. No, it's not a romance. Just two dudes who became friends over shared trauma and appreciation for geothermal spas. Haley met someone too, actually. One of the guys from the cruise. He was traveling solo after his divorce. They're taking it slow, but he makes her laugh. First time I've seen her really happy in years. The money I saved from the canceled wedding? Invested most of it. The rest went to clearing Haley's student loans. She cried, said I didn't have to. I said neither did she when she spent her 20s raising me instead of living her life. Madison still texts from random numbers occasionally, usually around 1 a.m. Things like, I miss us, you were my person, no one understands me like you did. I don't respond. Just screenshot and forward to my lawyer for the file. The restraining order's still active. Last week, a mutual friend mentioned Madison's been telling people I was the one who got away, and that she learned so much from our relationship. Learned what? That you can't uninvite someone's only family and keep the someone? That took therapy to figure out? But honestly, I'm grateful. Not for the pain or the drama, but for the revelation. Madison showed me exactly who she was in time for me to avoid legal entanglement. Imagine if this happened after marriage. With kids, with shared property. My sister saved me just by existing and asking reasonable questions. Madison couldn't handle someone who wouldn't just nod and go along with her every whim. The mask slipped, and I saw the real person underneath, worth every penny of those lost deposits. Oh, and that venue that refunded most of my money? They used Madison's breakdown story as a cautionary tale for other brides. The event coordinator told me they now have a policy called the Madison Clause. Both parties must sign off on the guest list to prevent family exclusion drama. The chocolate sculpture company? They sent me a small chocolate sailboat with a note, smooth sailing ahead. Class act. Haley framed the restraining order. It hangs in her bathroom. She says it's the best reminder to trust her instincts about people. Me? I'm good. Better than good. Free? I've got my sister, my savings, my sanity, and a lifetime supply of crazy ex stories. Sometimes the best weddings are the ones that never happen. Madison, if you somehow find this, your wedding, your consequences. Hope therapy helps. Stop texting me at 1 a.m. and maybe stop telling people you're basically engaged to guys you've been on 2 dates with. Yeah, Robert told me about that. It's creepy. To everyone else, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And if they try to separate you from family who's only looking out for you, run. Don't walk. Run. Trust your gut. Trust your family, and always, always get everything in writing. Peace out.